So, yeah, have you downloaded that code on the
Y-
website section that I have shown you?
Yeah, I thought of telling that. Actually, I'm not able to download. Nothing was there. Can I share my screen and show you, or
Yeah, please do that. I mean, it should be there. So it should be something like this. After extraction, you should see the 20 modules in,
no?
data
The
in it.
code itself, it was not there in the download code section. I can share my screen. Wait,
Okay, let me. Okay, show me.
share content screen. Share. Okay, are you able to see my screen now?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay, cool.
So is it the folder is empty or
Yeah, see, this is the one, right? Download code. When I
uh-huh.
click this guy, it goes to 404. Sorry, the page you're looking was not found.
Oh, okay, I'll write it down. I'll get it fixed because from tomorrow, since yesterday it was working. Okay, I'll get it fixed and I'll make sure that it'll send you in the email after
Okay,
fixing it.
okay,
Okay,
cool.
so yeah, after downloading the code, this is the application that we are going to use, the basic API, the student API. So first of all, in order to work with this, we have to run it. So it's a simple jar file.
Okay, I stop the screen. You can share this.
Okay, oh, I'm sorry. I thought, can you see my screen now?
Yeah, yeah. You're recording all the sessions, right? Whatever the
Yeah,
sessions
yeah,
you're
yeah,
doing.
sessions are
Yeah,
recorded. Don't worry.
yeah. That will
Yeah,
be uploaded into the batch recordings, right?
yeah, batch recordings. Yeah, batch recordings will be updated.
Okay, okay, cool. And give me your Skype ID.
Aware about these, these are the basic CRUD operations. Okay, and corresponding to this CRUD operations, when we make these API calls like the REST API calls, those API calls are made through some HTTP methods, right? And those HTTP methods are get, post, put or patch, and delete, which are equivalent to, or I would say, is the similar thing as the retrieve, create, update, and delete. Okay, now there are some difference among these methods, right? That we know, what get does, post do, and put, patch, delete, how it works. But there are some, basic difference among these. Among all these methods, get method is our only read-only method. Okay, whereas your put, patch, and delete are the right methods. Why I'm saying right methods? Because whenever I'm firing up this get method, I'm not making any changes in the database of an application. I'm just retrieving some information, right? So that's why it's known as the read-only method. Whereas this put, patch, and delete are right methods because they are committing some actual change. And if I talk more precisely, out of all these HTTP methods, only post method is the method which actually creates a new resource. I'll come back to that after the example. Okay, so now we know about these four basic CRUD operation or the HTTP methods. Now we'll see their actual implementation within a REST application. Okay, and that is the student app. For that we are going to use Postman. So basically, if I talk about the feature of student app, what it can do for us, it can retrieve the list of all student. By default, it has 100 students credential present in here in the form of in the JSON format. So that retrieve all student, basically that's a get request. Whereas retrieve a single student using ID. So we can also fire up a get request if we know a particular student's ID to get a single student information. We can add a new student, we can add multiple new students. Again, these both are post requests. Update existing student information, that's a put or the patch method. Removing existing student goes for the delete HTTP method. So again, the basic CRUD operations can be fired on this student application. It's again a very basic application that's going to be very useful for us, to start with the basics of REST assured. Okay, so first of all, let's see that how student app get HTTP method works. So all these URLs that you're seeing here, that are the get URLs. So one by one, let's try it out. Okay, so if I go to the Postman, so here's your Postman. Right. I'm not going to, talk about briefly about Postman because it's just for the manual testing, and we're using it just to see how this HTTP method works. Okay. So first of all, in order to send a request, you have to select it, what kind of HTTP method you want to use. So in our case, right now we want to work with the GET. Okay. So here I have to pass the URL and then I have to click on send. So my basic GET URL is this. Okay, what it's going to do is, so the jar that is running is the student application. So it's running locally in your on our system on this address, right? And okay, I'll tell you about how to break down this URL. So out of this URLs, in all these URLs, in fact, you see this part till 8080 is common. So that this part is common among all the URLs. So this particular part is our base URL. Whereas all has again after the base URL has this path common, right? So this is our base path, and what you're seeing, each has different keywords at the end. So all these are the endpoints. So all these get URLs have similar base URL, base path, and different endpoints. Okay, so we are going to work with the first get request first, which will fetch us list of all the students. Okay, so I put the request here. This is the address on which I'll fire the get request. So now application is running. If I click on send, I should see the information of all the students. Okay, here it is. So there should be 100 students present by default. Okay, here we go. Okay, so there are the 100 students present here. And all the students information is in the form of JSON, key and value pair. Okay, so basically all these map includes a list too. This courses here is the list, right? And within an array there's a list. All the students format is in this format, right? Now if I say that if I want to fetch not the list of all students, but I just want to fetch a student out of a list that has ID, let's say 75. Can I do that? So instead of list, if I pass 75, I believe this is the URL. Okay, and send this request. Now in the response, I only got the information about the student which has the ID number 75. Okay, now it you're saying something? uh, we need something to test it out. Like in the sessions itself we are going to work with the APIs from the PayPal, Twitter, and the Walmart, but they are very limited. We can't really post anything to their database, right? So that's why we need these kind of applications. And again, like the student app, we have a retail app also, but we'll start with the very basics because it doesn't have any database. This student app, retail app has the database that we set up locally or on our system. Okay. Right. So where we were we? Okay. So financial list. Even you can set the limit also. Like right now I'm getting list of many students. I just want to set a limit. So if I say limit equals to, let's say 3. Think, okay, I think I made a mistake in the URL. Okay, so basically when I'll set the limit by the end limit, so it will, the limit that I set, it won't proceed further. Like if I set 4, it's only going to show 4 rather than all the students. Whereas without limit, it was presenting all the a list of all the students that opted for the financial analysis, right? So these are the multiple ways in which we can fire up the GET request on the student application. Now, if we go forward. I hope the concept of get is clear to you. I didn't went in a very brief because I know that you're aware about the CRUD operations.
Yeah, no problem.
Right?
It's okay.
Okay. Okay. So now I'll talk about the next HTTP method or the CRUD request create, that is post. So in order to post in the student applications, again we have to follow the JSON format that it is following. Like from here, except the ID, all the information we have to pass. ID will be assigned by the application itself. Okay. So first of all, I need the URL on which I'll fire up the post request. So this is my URL and the base path on which I'll fire it up. Now instead of get, I'll change it to the post, and I have to go to the section called body, click on the raw, and there are multiple ways to again to do it, but I'm just doing the, in the e most easiest way here, right, in the Postman, because just we are seeing the CRUD operations and the student application working. Okay, like the same information that I'm passing can go in the form of key and value pair too, right? But I'm passing the raw body here. So suppose I'll just copy this information from here and we'll make some changes to it, because if I'll pass the same information, the application is going to give us the error. Okay, ID won't be the part of it, like I said. See, okay, let's just pass. If I post the
Why,
same information
why
again,
ID
let's see.
ID is not passing?
Because ID is assigned by the application itself. It's going to assign us the ID. We are not going to assign
Oh,
the ID.
but
Yeah,
it's
it's
going to
working
be
off the
add a record, right? We are not going to modify the record. It's going to be add a record.
yeah. So
Okay.
it's the addition will happen incrementally. Like there are 100 students happen. If a new student is got added, automatically it will be assigned the ID 101.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. So let's just try this. I didn't make any changes. I know this student data is already present. So what if I post it again? What will happen with the post request? So it's saying error email address already exists. Right. So it's checking by the email address. So now if I'll make some changes to the email address and send it again, this time it's saying student added. So now I can check it by the get request on the particular ID. So now if I click on this 101 get, I should see a student information. Oops. Okay. It was saying the student got added. Okay, let's fire up the get request. Okay, it got added at 102 position. Why it has happened? It is the this is something wrong with the application itself. I'll realize send a request in which I got the response that the email address already existed, but the 101 position got occupied. So instead of 101, if, if I have used 102 here and then send the request, then I'll see the particular student information. Here we go. Right. So this is how you post a request. Basically, whenever you'll post something, you pass a body in that. Okay, it consists of a body. Whereas in the get method, you're just fetching some information. You're getting the information out of the application, out of the server. Okay. There are few more points about the difference among all these CRUD operations that I'll talk about it after we'll see it's working. So now instead of post, let's say I want to make the update. I added a new student, but I see that the information that I added is somewhat incorrect. So I want to correct it. So instead of post this time, I will use the next HTTP method, which is put. Okay, here we go. So here's the put method. The only difference within the student application, when we are firing up a put or a update request, we have to fire it on a ID of a student, right? As an endpoint, you will pass the ID, base URL, base path, and then your at endpoint the ID of the student on which you are making the update. So suppose I'm making update with the student that I just added, that has the ID 102. Okay, and I want to change its name from the Harper to, let's say, right. So I just change the I just made some changes in the name, first name and the last name. And this time I'm firing up a put request. So now if I click on send, I see message student information updated. And if I fire up the get request and check it out, and the information that I changes, I can see the changes happened. Right. But what just happened with the put request here is that I just want to make changes in these two properties. Right. But again, I send the whole JSON again. Right. Like the post request, I again send the whole JSON, whereas changes were in these just two properties. Okay. So, solution for that is our patch request. With the patch request, we don't really have to send the whole JSON again. Like in this case, it was still easier because it was just one entry. So still, if we have to send it, there's no problem with that. But there can be multiple entries, right? So there's no point of sending the whole JSON again where there's just one change is going to happen. So in that case, we'll use the patch request. What happens with the patch? Again, patch provides us with the body, but we we don't have to send the whole JSON again. Okay, so if I go to this raw section, so like in the application, let's say I just want to change the email. Okay, so what I'll do is right here, I have this email. I want to change it to, let's say I'm changing the email to this. Okay, for the student that I just added. And instead of this put, I'm using the patch this time. So if I click on send, in the response, I'm saying message updated, right? So let's check it out if it got actually updated. So yeah, the email address got updated. So you see how easier it was to do with the patch. With the put, again, I was sending the whole JSON, but with the patch, I'm just sending the property, the key value pair that I want to change. Okay, so this is the another operation that is being used. And at last, the last request that we have with the student application is the delete request. Okay, so again, at the delete, like the put and patch, we in the URL that we pass the at the endpoint will pass the ID of the student that we want to delete. So suppose I want to delete this particular student, so I'll select the HTTP method delete from here and click the send. So if I click here, in with the delete operation, it doesn't really show any response. But if I again fire up this get, I won't see that student saying not found. Okay, so very basic stuff how this CRUD operations work. So you got about the patch request, right?
Yeah, the patch is over. I got it.
Yeah, yeah, how it's working. Every rest assured has support for the this patch request. The Postman has a support, but all the APIs not really support it. API should support it because I usually see student coming with to me saying that the patch request is not working. So the API should support it, right? So only that then it's going to work.
Okay, so all the APIs also has to be supported. Okay, that's why
Yeah,
I never used patch. So, okay.
yeah, yeah, that's why I mentioned because it's a common problem that.
Hello. Oh, your voice is breaking.
Yeah, actually that recording got paused when that mic got stopped. Okay, no problem. Yeah. So this is the same application that I use in the Postman when we'll start with the basics. The same, all this CRUD operations will fire up via the automation, by the rest assured in the Java itself, right? But before that, in this coming week, we are going to work with the Java basics. So right now we have some time left. So you want me to start with the basics of Java because we are done with the student application, the basic part of the Postman. Hello, hello.
Yeah, okay, Abhinav. Actually, yeah, nice. Check.
Hmm.
So can we, yeah, can you work on my the student app application? Is it possible to send us a like maybe a RAR file to Google or somewhere? Maybe I can just install it.
Yeah, actually, what I can do for you, yeah, let me send you the file. I'll email you the file. That will be fine, right?
Yeah, that's fine. I can just install it here.
Yeah, yeah.
Because maybe Java we can start with tomorrow. At least if I set it up all the postmans and all those other things in my
Yeah,
system,
yeah,
right?
yeah. We can do that. Totally, we can do that. So, what I'll do, just give me your email address in the chat box, and I'll send you right away. Okay. So for the Postman, you just have to go to the website called getpostman.com. From there, you can download it. You worked with the Postman before, right? For the manual testing.
Yeah, yeah. Postman I worked it, but the problem is this system I haven't. My office system I have it. I
Okay,
can
okay,
download. I think no problem. I think I
okay.
have it. Let me check.
And one thing more that I want to talk. Okay, let it get upload. One thing more. So, with the Postman, usually this is a query that we ask so many times. That with the Postman, we are working with this. So, why again we use the REST short? Because Postman is just limited to this, right? We can manually send a request. We can manually get a response. Even within the Postman itself, we can generate a very basic kind of report. Have you generated reports from the Postman?
No.
Yeah, so we can also generate the report from the Postman, but again, it's not really informative and not really useful that we can do with the rest assured and the extent reports.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's why we don't really prefer it. And apart from this, again, within the tutorials itself, when we'll work with the other APIs that are present over the internet, side by side with the rest assured, Postman will always use because it's a great handy utility. You'll just have to put the URL and you can see the request in the pretty print format.
Okay.
Right, because if I'll show this get request, if I just fire it up on the browser, as the application is running locally, I don't know if it get added correctly. Yeah, so if I'll, fire up this request right here, so it comes in this format, right? So in the Postman itself, it's very understandable. And even in the further, we are going to work with some request. Okay, right now I don't really have to show you. In that we have a very complicated JSONs like this. So there is this a website over the internet present. You can always use it. That is known as your JSON viewer stack.hu. This website gives you a very clean representation of your JSON. Like in this application, it's quite big, but it doesn't have anything. You're going to see JSONs that are nested itself. Like in an array, there is a list again has an array. You're getting my point?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like if I have this format and if I click on this viewer, it will give me the in this format. It is understandable that there is a list that includes a map, right? And that map again has a list. So the square bracket represents the list, whereas the curly braces presents the map. Map is what that includes the key and value pair. List that includes single values, right? So it's really easier to understand. It's earlier we were seeing something like this. Okay,
Okay.
but with the JSON stack viewer, we'll actually get a tree view. Okay, like in this, we just have two levels in this particular JSON, but we normally will see, 7 or 8 levels. Like a list includes map, again, the list includes map, map includes list. So this is how, we can traverse easily. With the rest assured itself, you're going to see that we have to assert some values. Like in the map, there is a list, and the list includes again a map, and I want to assert that value. Again, this is a very useful utility. You want me to pass the link?
Yeah, yeah. Just can you pass the link?
Yeah, so pass you the link. Okay, I think the application. Oh yeah, it got added. So let's. Okay, just check. I in between while it getting uploaded, I got the error of some. Retry if it not got corrupted.
Not yet come.
Have you received the mail?
Yeah, I haven't actually. Just refreshing.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get actually. I'm just still refreshing. It's
Okay, okay.
refreshing. It's little bigger file, right? So I think it takes time.
Eh, yeah, it's around, I believe, it's 20-25 MB. It's 27 MBs.
Check your sent items. I don't think so. It is been sent.
It's not there.
Is it moved from your sent item? I mean, came to sent
No,
item or
actually,
still?
it was present on my drive itself, so that's why it was showing that it got shared. Let me do it again.
Oh, you just.
So basically, it got shared. Okay, let's. It's saying it will be sent as a drive link, so you should get at least the email about it.
Yeah, if I get a link, at least I can go on.
You got the link?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay, should get the link. Let's see. Otherwise, it will be just a few other things that I'll get the code fixed from on the website itself.
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah. Otherwise, you can just check it, and still, if you not get it, you should get it. Okay, let's see. To me, it's saying, send it. It's in the send now.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I got one email.
You got it?
Yeah,
Okay,
I got a
just
email. Yeah.
yeah. Just try downloading it. You want to get start it?
Yeah, I'm just downloading.
Okay, okay.
Okay, it's downloaded. Maybe I'll share the screen. Just let me know what to do. Uh,
Yeah.
Wait, I downloaded here.
Okay, okay. So just put it any location, conveniently on your desktop maybe.
Okay. So,
Just copy this path from above.
okay, you want to change the name as something else? I mean, student.
No, that's totally your choice. You just have to remember it, while you're running it from the prompt.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Go
Copy.
open the prompt.
Command prompt.
Yeah.
Okay.
Change the directory to cd space that path.
Oh,
No, just right click over it. Right click
oh,
and then
right click
paste.
and paste.
Yeah. Okay. Click enter. Yeah. Now use the command Java.
Okay. Doesn't look like it went to the photos. Okay. Java.
Uh-huh. Minus a space for space.
Okay. Okay.
Then, yeah, minus or a dash. Yeah. Jar. JAR.
Okay.
Name of the file. That is the student list, I believe. Dot jar.
That's
Yeah.
it, right?
Now, yeah. Enter it. Oh, actually, you are inside the C drive and you are trying to access the D drive. So,
Oh,
just, yeah, and we are on the wrong path. So just write D and the column.
okay.
Just write here, write D,
Okay.
column, enter.
That's it, right?
Yeah. No, you don't have to pass it. Yeah.
Okay.
Now it's fine, right? D per rest
Yeah.
short. It's inside the folder, right? Now just just use the up navigation. You'll get
Oh,
the same command. Yeah.
like this. Okay.
Yeah. Now enter it.
Something wrong.
Unable to access jar file student list dot jar. I think that file is got corrupted. Yeah. We are inside the same folder, right? Per student rest assured. Yeah, we are on
Yeah, it's
the same
personal
folder.
rest assured. Yeah. Is this command?
Yeah, we
Am I entering right?
no, actually, there is a mistake in the name of the file. It's after it's a spelling mistake.
Oh,
Student.
student list jar. Okay.
Yeah, now enter it. Yeah, now the application is running.
Yeah, it's getting.
Right. You can quickly check it. You can use the HTTP method in the Postman itself, but just open the Chrome and go through to the address I told you. Localhost. We are just checking that if it's running. Local host colon,
So, yeah.
yeah, 8080.
Okay. It's a
Yeah.
demo application.
Welcome to Sapri. Yeah, it's running. It's running. Okay. So
Okay.
now you can try out the different methods on this HTTP. I told you the main ones. Still, you can use different combination of the GET request and all yourself within the Postman.
Oh yeah, sure, sure, no problem. Yeah, so I'll download the Postman then.
Yeah, you download the Postman, and then you can start working with the student application. And yeah, I'll get the code fixed, so you'll get all the text file, that has all the student app URLs and all. Okay. And if you want me to send that all those base URLs that student application, I can send you by the email too.
Yeah, no problem. You just send it to me.
Okay, okay, okay. So I'll send these to you and also get the code fixed, and you'll get the email from the Wisdom itself, when
Okay,
the code will be fixed.
sure. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, cool.
Anything else?
I think we are good for today. I think. Cool.
Okay. Then tomorrow we'll start at sharp 8. Okay.
Okay, sure. Thanks, Abhinav.
Okay, no problem. See you.
Thank you. Bye.